Oh, yeah, baby. Well, everybody, we survived the night. Fires all the way up here this morning. Almost had to evacuate last night. And now it's time to go catch fish. Luckily, because it's so scary out here, nobody's fishing today. Today's gonna be a lot of fun. It's a smoky, hazy day, but it's supposed to be 100 degrees. It's gonna be beautiful out. There's steelhead in the river. We got the entire place to ourselves. And we're doing a really interesting kind of fishing here today. Fishing for salmon and sea run trout, steelhead, and the little half pounders that might be around as well. And we're doing it with a bug and bubble. This time of year up here, it's no bait, no anything like that, no gear. It's completely fly restrictions, but we're gonna be using flies on a spinning rod with a sweet little setup. So you have to stay tuned to see that. So let's hop in the boat, let's get our rods ready, let's go fishing. Going with the 10-count flippy bug. Boat ram fish. Little guy. So what those half pounders are they're like they're juvenile steelhead basically. If anyone in the world knows what a jack salmon is, it's a salmon that goes out to the ocean, actually only lives out there for 6 months to a year, and then migrates back into the river because there's enough food in the river to sustain them, and they want to be in that fresh water. So they'll come back in for a short period of time, you know, 5 to 8 months, even sometimes shorter, even days sometimes, and then they'll go right back out to the ocean and get bigger, and they'll come back and forth all through their life cycle, correct?
Yes.
Or are those like jacks where they stay that small forever?
No, they won't. They'll grow up. Like this year's half pounders will be next year's adult steelhead.
Yeah. Half pounder city, dude. Nice.
It almost looks like a cutty. It'll see you on that.
Recording. It does.
That is a cutty, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a really beautiful one. I'm gonna do this if that's all right.
Yeah, you're all good.
Oh wow, look at that beautiful little thing. That's a half pounder. Beautiful, great start to the morning. Another little wild happy. See you later, buddy. Wow, what a fighter.
It's a big cutty, I think.
That was badass. Look at that. That's wild. A little wild. A little wild stealing. Come on, I'm just going to show you to the world and then let you go. Make it easy. Well, Mr. Cutthroat gave this little guy away. It's a nice little, what, 23, 24-inch steely? Not even, probably right at 21 or so. Thank you, little fella. Have fun. Well, that was cool. Right on, man.
On the big bug.
Yeah. They're eating that big bug, man. That's all they want. You pointed me in the right direction there. Oh, he was there too.
That had weight to it.
Dang it.
I just heard.
I gave him head.
Oh,
I gave him his head.
He turned his head.
Damn it. Like I was too jumpy. I had a feeling, my eyes just saw that little line over there. And,
That looked better too.
it definitely yanked.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good one too. Good fish, good fish.
That is steelhead.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, little, it's okay.
Get the neck. I can't tell.
The one thing we try to do, especially with wild steelhead, is if you don't have to, when it's like this size where we might be able to manage it, we might lose a fly or something, but We don't want to put wild steelhead in the net as often if we don't have to, so that one is a little wild fish. Especially in a river like this, these fish are going back and forth to the ocean throughout their entire life, so we want to quick release. Perfect. Nice, dude. That was a cool fish.
Little jumper.
They're getting progressively bigger. Each fish is just that much bigger. So that was awesome. Corn nut bite. Corn nut bite. I was over here munching some corn nuts. Letting my bobber just do its thing. That's a big fish. I'm gonna take it really easy on him. Did you get a look at that already?
I didn't get to see him yet.
Watch this.
Shiny.
That's a big shiny. I'm just gonna keep his head down until we get to this soft water, because he's gonna go for a mega jump. I can feel it. Look at him. Oh, that's a nice fish, dude. Okay. All right. Okay. Jockey in here.
Hold it.
Oh, that's a nice fish. Oh, beautiful wild fish. Oh, so pretty in that light. Little no. You know, honestly, if I don't bless my deal, I might just do the old fashioned here. The old door opener. Come on, big guy. Come around town. That's hilarious, just the way the current is. This fish hasn't gained 1 foot this entire time. Just been able to play him, tire him out with the current here. Wow, what a nice fish. You hold that? That's a little slimy. So the reason I'm doing this, you guys, the reason I'm trying to let it go like this is because, once again, this is really pretty wild steelhead. And we try not to put them in the net. That's why we have our addicted landing nets, but we don't have one here today. What a beautiful fish. Just an absolute specimen. Alright. Just a beautiful steelhead. I'll let her go now. Yeehaw!
Yeah, buddy.
Nice, dude. That was awesome. Wow, what a cool fight. Beautiful fish. Just perfect.
On the big bug again.
On the big bug, man. It's a big bug kind of day. They're liking the fire. Is it a hatchery? Nope. No? Not today. He's been caught before. Might have been a little rainbow. Kind of what it looked like. His maxillary was all messed up. It's snowing ash right now. Very, very ominous look to the skies right here. Super fishy if you ask me. Comment below with what you guys think of all this. Would you go out and chase steelhead in the path of a wildfire? I'm sure there's going to be a lot of no's, but you know, we had this trip planned for a long time. We were allowed to go, they didn't have the boat ramps closed, and we went for it, and it turned out to be an amazing day. So drop a comment below, drop a thumbs up if you think this is crazy, drop a thumbs up if you think it's awesome. We're gonna run some rapids. So Alex just got a little text alert update, I believe from the shuttle driver, that the just about 20-30 minutes ago the sheriff ordered the river closed through the section that we're on. So hopefully we can at least get the boat out. The last one just had caution tape, but things are getting a little fishy out here. All right, everybody, well, we got the executive order to get off the river. The sheriff, we got to the boat ramp finally, and the sheriff actually just got here with his jet boat. He's coming to look for us. So the fire got that close to the water. They shut it down. They evacuated everybody's homes. We got right off the river just in time. We're on the opposite end, it looks like, of the fire. So we're gonna head back to Alex's, reconvene, see if we can't find a bank plan for this evening, go do something else. But I've been excited. It's been a crazy day so far. Got some steelhead, got some fish. Outran a fire, got to fish in probably the most ominous setting I've ever seen. So let's load the boat up, let's get a plan together. Be sure to comment below with what you think of the day so far. I know I'm having fun. Alright, well, things are seeming to get weirder by the second. Just ran and got some food before we embark on our next little adventure here. There seems to be reports of arson and different stuff like that happening all over the place around here. So it looks like another fire has just broken out right on the freeway here. Not sure what's going on, but it looks like it's gridlocked, everything's stopped. Some sort of structure or building is fully engulfed right now, just exploding. So we're getting out of Dodge. The plan is, said bye to Alex, said our thank yous, said everything else. If you guys have never seen us fish with Alex before, be sure, check out a link in the description, get out and fish with him down here when this kind of craziness isn't happening. But get down, visit Alex, see what it's all about. But big thank you to Alex. We're gonna start heading towards the coast and try to outrun these fires a little bit. Dodging these road closures and all this craziness going on is gonna be a little tougher than expected, but we're gonna do our best. People all around us are getting evacuated. There's fires busting out everywhere from here all the way back home. So we're gonna try to keep this show on the road. We're gonna try to keep fishing. So we're heading to the coast. We're heading out of the city. We're getting out of Dodge, and hopefully we can find some fish and a nice camp spot for the night. Don't worry, kind stranger. We've been avoiding danger this whole time. And it is fishy. Ow! 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 Daddy! All right, initial observation of camp for the night. It smells smoky. It feels nice and cool. It looks absolutely beautiful. What's it taste like? Fish. Well, everybody, that pretty much wraps up day one of fishing down in Southern Oregon here in the Ring of Fire. One thing as I'm kind of walking back to the truck reflecting this evening, definitely want to give a huge shout out to all the people who are losing their homes and property and livestock and family and, you know, their entire lives in these wildfires. I'm not trying to make lightheartedness on a terrible situation down here, but our thoughts and prayers are with all of you out there across the West or across the US this year in 2020, where these wildfires are just sweeping through places where they normally don't burn and destroying a lot of people's lives. So our thoughts and prayers and love is with you guys out there, whether you're fellow addicts of fishing or not. We hope everything is okay, and we hope everybody's safe out there. But if you guys want to ride along for more of the adventure, see what happens tomorrow, I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a fantastic day. So if you're going to want to, be sure to go down here, hit subscribe, turn that little bell on, because we're going to be having this next video come out next week, and you guys are not going to want to miss the rest of this Ring of Fire adventure. So for those of you who do not believe us, this is actually how we're sleeping tonight. There's little. There's Sean still editing, so he can get this awesome stuff to you guys. There's some toilet paper and a fishing reel, some binoculars and stuff. And that's bed for the night. So, night everybody. Well, good morning everybody. Welcome to another day. Woke up this morning, it says it's 7 o'clock. Apparently I slept pretty good in the truck. Got beat by another rig to one of the other holes. 2 jet boats already went by, so I'm lacing up. I'm getting ready. I'm getting my rods ready. We gotta catch something to eat now. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you guys haven't already, go back, watch day 1. All kinds of crazy stuff was happening. The whole town was burning down. Today, it's looking really, really smoky out here. I'm hoping there's not a fire burning that's gonna cut us off from getting down to the beach, because from here we got about another 40 miles to coast, to the bottom, to the mouth of this river, where we're gonna be meeting up with another friend of mine to fish the estuary in his boat for some kings. So today's goal is to find some fish. Doesn't matter the species, doesn't matter the size. We're gonna find some fish, we're gonna cook those bad boys up. I got a really cool recipe that I'm gonna try tonight. So we're gonna go out and catch some fish. If you guys haven't already, hit subscribe, smash thumbs up. Drop a comment below with whether or not you like these traveling videos. I know I'm having a blast. You guys stay tuned. All right, everybody. Well, it's been a long morning so far. Been fishing for probably 2 hours or so. A giant fleet of drift boats just went by me. Talked to all of them. Sounds like they'd only got 1 steelhead, 1 salmon all morning. There's 2 or 3 more drift boats coming now. So gonna go grab some food really quick. Find a gas station somewhere, grab some grub. And we're gonna head on down the road, see what we can find. We might end up fishing in the ocean today, who knows. We gave Steve a call. We're supposed to fish with him tomorrow. You guys have seen Steve in some of our Southern Oregon stuff before. He's one of our awesome guides that we work with, Steve CRISLER. So we met up with Steve, we came all the way out, and what are we doing now?
We're gonna go troll for some salmon.
Why not? With enough trying to catch those little ones, we're gonna go get the big ones.
Big dogs.
Yes. Okay, so we're rocking 3 methods here, everybody. We're gonna go 1 360. We got a 3.5 spinner. Just a little pinky on this one. There's fish stacked. I just saw another one roll. There's fish stacked all over out here. It's kind of just getting one to bite, it seems like. Steve's been explaining it to us all afternoon about how finicky the bite can be here at times. So we're trying 3 different methods. Whichever one works, we'll probably switch over to that and see if we can't get ourselves a big old tug. No, it's right behind. Try to get close. Get down, though. Get down. Hey, you were supposed to let Good, hopefully. Sweet, dude. So we tried to find bottom again. I clipped the bail, let it go like 3 or 4 feet, and wham! Instantly got hit on the drop there on the 360. Yes, dude. We called it. We were both just brainstorming in the tent. He's like, we gotta try it. And I'm like, let's get Let's get it and go. We had a couple options on things to do tonight. One of them, oh, that's pretty fish. Ready? Brother, yes! Woo! Got him on the 360. That's an eater right there. No, no.
Not you, little.
No.
You little.
You can't eat it. We're gonna eat it.
We gonna eat it.
What a beautiful fish on the choker rig. Thank you, Cameron. Put that up a little choker rig in camp. I knew that thing wasn't coming off the whole time. Thank you so much. The first Southern Oregon Chinook. Oh, and a tasty one. This is gonna make a good burger, huh?
Yeah. A slam burger.
Yes. That's so awesome.
I can taste it.
I know. So, just a perfect little specimen. South Coast Chinook. Absolutely beautiful. Gonna have incredible, incredible color.
You need a tow back or?
Look at those. Do the old bucket bleed technique. All right, well, we're gonna get this bad boy on ice now. It's good and bled. The idea now is to hopefully catch a couple more. We're gonna wait this out through the good part of the tide. Steve called it perfect. He's like, man, these fish are gonna really turn on from this time to this time with the tide. And what do you know, about 2-3 passes in, bam, got one on our secret setup. So we're gonna throw out the bag, we're gonna get ready, we're gonna go back, we're gonna make some salmon burgers with this. So if you guys like salmon burgers, stick around, drop a like below, and comment below whether or not you've ever made anything other than just cooking salmon normal. So I'm excited to try something different. We got all the ingredients waiting for us back at camp. Let's get this one on ice and let's get back to fishing. Can you get out of the net?
Oh, sea lion, sea lion.
Sea lion's coming. Yeah, he's got it. Damn it.
Yeah, that's the sea lion guy out here.
No, he's not out here. The sea lion's got him.
I don't think so.
Not anymore.
Not yet.
Dang it. Almost. I didn't have to land it. Oh, it's huge.
Coming around, get down, Sean. Little now. That's some good.
Coming right on your boat, right under your boat. Oh man.
Coming hard. Look out, little. Get down. Get down. Oh man, what a rodeo. Oh, that's a huge fish. He's right behind him. He's right behind him. Got him! Oh my god! Oh! Steve! Yes! Yes! Dude! Oh my god! Oh, he floated all the way to the net. Oh my god. Little, that's enough. Holy smokes. That was incredible, dude. Boom! That was so cool. Good job.
Good job on the net, bro.
That was crazy.
That was a hot fish.
Insane.
Did you see that sea lion?
Yeah. Did you get it on camera?
Yeah, I got that sea lion
that's
swim
so
away.
cool.
Oh my god, dude. That thing is, what do you think?
31.
I'm going 32 and a half. Price is wrong, Bobby. Oh my goodness. In hand. It's not going anywhere. Look at that fish, dude. Look what you just did. Oh my god. That is insane. Oh yeah.
Like that far from him, I just lifted.
Steve is an animal. Did you guys see the way he got that in the net? Comment below, drop a thumbs up. I don't care who you are. If that didn't get your heart going, you're not breathing. That was insane.
Let me see that bad boy. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's a slab right there, boys.
Wow, dude,
Woo!
congrats, Steve.
Big
That
girl.
is so cool.
Oh, that was rad.
Well, talk about a flying knee from the top rope, dude. We had just called it. We're like, all right, let's get out of here. We got a fish. We can make our recipe tonight. Everything's cool. We can come back tomorrow. Last pass. We didn't go 100 yards into the last pass. Didn't go 20. Hooked that fish. As you guys saw, that sea lion, or that, it was this harbor seal.
Harbor seal.
It was a harbor seal, was just right on his tail, but that fish was so strong and fast that it couldn't, the seal couldn't catch it. And we worked it, did a couple 360s, almost got caught with a couple of boats. The way you got that fish's head to come up and towards the surface, I mean, like, so textbook and so lucky, because he zigged when he shouldn't have zagged. Yep. And we got him in the net right before the seal grabbed it. That was one of the coolest moments. Everybody was hooting and hollering, man. God, that was cool. So we're gonna count our eggs. We're gonna grab our fish. We're gonna head on back, get a couple things ready for dinner, and share this awesome salmon burger recipe with you guys. So stay tuned.
28-pound hen. That's a big girl.
28-pound hen.
I like them thick.
Yeah.
I like them chunky.
I like when they got thick thighs and big buns.
Oh, dude, she's thick, all right.
We're gonna put her in between two big buns. That's for sure. So, you guys, what we're gonna do, a little surprise for you, is what we're gonna do to make these salmon burgers here is we're actually gonna salvage the meat that we usually waste on the carcass of this fish. So he got this big old giant 28-pound fish. So instead of throwing all this good meat away, I'm gonna take my little Gerber spoon here and I'm gonna take a little Ziploc bag and I'm gonna clean most of this spine clean, and this is gonna pretty much be all of the fish for our meal for the evening. So I'm gonna salvage again, use up the stuff that's normally waste. A little bit of recycling going on here, but I tell you what, it's gonna turn into a delicious thing. You just take that spoon, you run it right down along the back side of those bones there, and that stuff just peels right off. And every little bit you get into the bag. All right, so we got a pretty good sized bag of meat off of those spines and off of those bellies and everything. So I got that scraped off. That's probably the perfect amount for 2 burgers. We're gonna go back, we're gonna get all our ingredients together. We're gonna get this recipe underway because I'm getting hungry. I don't know about you guys. Comment below with whether or not you guys ever make crab patties or any kind of salmon burgers like this. I know I'm excited. It's one of my favorite recipes, and we got a lot of good ingredients to throw into this that you're not gonna wanna miss. Okay. All right, so we got our whole kitchen set up here. We got our scrap meat, and we actually took the collars off of the big fish as well. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get all this out on the table, or not on the table preferably, onto the cutting board here, and I'm gonna slice this up in a little bit smaller pieces. I'm not gonna get like super fancy with it, but I'm gonna hold one end, and I'm just gonna start making big slices. Get this stuff chunked up a little bit so it breaks down a little bit more. Okay, so these collars are pretty neat, you guys. There's actually a lot of meat on here that a lot of people don't ever get to, so.
And it's got the most nutrients.
Exactly, the highest fat content. It has a ton of flavor, and it's just good for you as well. This probably has the most omega-3s in these collars and in the back or in the shoulders and stuff out of any other part of the body. So now that we have our salmon meat ready, we're gonna start cutting up our veggies. We're gonna get our eggs mixed into this. We're gonna do our initial little mixture on our patties here. And then Steve's gonna get some of the condiment stuff chopped up, and we're gonna just tag team this thing I'm gonna do a little bit of Lowry's here. Just a small little dusting here because this stuff is pretty strong. Tiny, tiny bit of garlic salt because our man over here is getting some garlic going. I'm gonna crush some black pepper on over that, just like so. Mix it around, maybe even let it sit and marinate for a few minutes. Kind of let it cook down in there. Okay. Now, we're gonna grab our breadcrumbs. Let's give it a good little squeeze with some lemon on top of this here. Man, that's coming together nicely.
Maybe a cup.
Okay, let's go about a cup of breadcrumb in here. Just gonna evenly disperse that all the way across. We can always, again, everybody, you guys all know my motto. We can always add more. You can't take it out. So, a couple of eggs. I usually like to go about an egg per burger. If you got 3, 4, 5 burgers worth of fish in here, I like to do about 1, 2, or 3 eggs for each one of those burgers that you plan on making. So we're only eating 2 here because Sean doesn't get to eat. And the fun part begins. So we're gonna take and just kind of mash all this together here. I want to get it good and tacky, good and mixed around. Get that breadcrumb, that fish, and that egg all to start to kind of bond together there, because you want to be able to make a patty out of this. So if it's too slimy and it's not quite getting stiff enough, you're gonna want to add a little bit more breadcrumb, a little more sustenance to it, give it a little more body here. So what I'm gonna do now, will you douse my hands with a little bit of water? I'm gonna press these patties. What I like to do, guys, is I like to get my hands a little bit wet before I do this. It helps from getting that stuff. You saw how sticky it was getting to my hands. Now that I want to roll my patties, I'm gonna do about, half pound patties here. I'm gonna get my hands wet and see how it stops sticking to me. That's the beauty of that. You get your hands just a little bit moist, that breadcrumb and everything will stop sticking to you. Bam, patty number 1. Bam, patty number 2. Ooh, the big one for our captain. Oh, that's a good patty there, everybody. Look at that bad boy. Uh-huh. You can tell by the way it is, that thing's gonna taste good. And patty number 3.
It's a little hot.
I know, right? My God. I'm gonna go ahead and add some cheese now. He's got the Tillamook pepper jack. Thank you, Tillamook cheese, for making these delicious things, and all you Tillamook dairy farmers out there. Yeah. Grandma would be proud. Let's take a bite and talk about it here. What's this thing taste like? Can't even really taste the salmon's full flavor. It kind of blends in with that breadcrumb and all the other flavors, and it's just this buttery, flaky, absolute melt in your mouth goodness. Ready for war, Captain?
Okay.
Ready for war.
Good.
Oh, this is a good setup we got going here, everybody. The rotten banana super bait, stuffed with tuna. Looking good. We got the classic anchovy rig that Steve's got going here, and then we got the 360 going again. The tide is switching perfectly right now, the next hour, so it should be the best bite. So hopefully it's action as soon as we drop in. So down here where Steve is fishing, they have a really cool program where all the guides put in a big chunk of money at the beginning of the season for the sea lion patrol. I think we should adopt it in more places. Works for these guys really good. And it keeps these fish, these very vital kings that we all lose to these sea lions every single day, keeps them on your line, keeps that fish coming in, not getting eaten for no reason, and it allows these fish to stay at a healthy population. Just went through a giant ball of fish. I got slammed on the 360. We're about to turn around here in about another couple hundred yards. We're gonna go right back through them, so I feel pretty good about this. Got him, he's got him, he's got him, he's got him. Coming in. No.
Nice fish, nice fish.
Little. On that ground. Yep. Yes.
Really nice.
Yes. Oh, that's bad as a bone right there, dude. Look at that purple back. Yes, brother.
Nice work.
Woo. Right there, everybody. Boom. Wow. What an impressive fish. Holy smokes. Where's that bomb? Wow, everybody. Once again, second giant. Steve right out the back of the boat. Just fed it to him. Look at how deep that hook is in his mouth. Thing was almost bled out by the time we got her in the boat. Huge hand again.
Didn't go
At
20.
least 20. Didn't go 20.
Didn't go 20.
But she'll go 20.
She'll go 20.
Well done, my friend. That's so badass. Drop a like, comment below whether or not you guys have ever even seen a king this big, let alone caught one yourself. Of course, we'll be picking the comment of the day every day, so be sure to interact with this video. That's one of the most beautiful king salmon I've ever seen. So the one rod here with the super bait wasn't getting bit, so we decided, both Steve and I got bit on both those couple passes, and there's a pile of fish still nets flying. So we're going rogue spinner, anchovy, down to the short bus flasher, a couple ounces of lead. Oh, that one's getting big.
Got a biter.
Especially on the back, on trolling back up river.
Gonna keep it?
Heck yeah, we are. Well, everybody, we got a little surf perch. Heck yeah. We were just talking about going jetty fishing. A perch taco on the menu tonight, everybody. We're cruising up for a little dockside lunch. Kind of cool. They got this little dockside restaurant bar thing over here, which is super convenient. So, bite kind of died off. Can get a little bit more energy in ourselves. It's not like catching a giant 20-pound salmon isn't exciting enough, but we're gonna go grab some grub. We're gonna try to make a game plan for tomorrow. It seems like this thing is gonna roll into one extra day. So we're gonna get that all sorted out. We're gonna get some grub in our tummies. And we're gonna catch a fish. All right, so Steve's getting his big fish all bagged up. And we noticed when we got into the fish house here, some of our buddies over here had a couple extra fish. And we said, hell, they were so big, all these fish were so big, we're gonna use the carcass trick again. Instead of eating this good meat that we want to either smoke or just eat as a regular meal, I'm gonna take the spoon again to these 3 carcasses here, 4 carcasses, and we're gonna make a special salmon dip. So we're gonna get all this stuff cleaned out. We're gonna get our bag full of meat ready. We're gonna take you back to camp and show you this awesome recipe. All right, so we got our meat all cleaned up. Got a really nice bag of meat this time. Might have enough even to make some more burgers like we did last night. If you guys did not see last night's episode, be sure to go back and check that out. Go down on the page, click on that link, and check out yesterday's recipe. It was absolutely delicious. If you haven't seen it, check out yesterday's episode. Got a couple giant fish. Cool things happened. We ate some good food. Now, we're gonna run to the store, get a couple of ingredients, and we're gonna show you one of my favorite salmon dips that you can have right in camp. In order to use this fish in the dip, of course, you need to have it cooked. A lot of times if I have smoked salmon or I have leftover fish from dinner that night, I'll use it in this exact same recipe. But today, we were lucky enough to have a few big carcasses to use. So I took those and I'm gonna use that meat instead, but I have to cook it first. So I'm gonna go very, very simple on this, because really you want a lot of that fish flavor. All I have with me is a little McCormick's roasted garlic and bell pepper seasoning. I'm gonna melt this butter down, I'm gonna dump all this fish in, I'm gonna give it a light seasoning, and I'm just gonna quickly get that fish nice and cooked so that I can add it into my Tupperware tray here and then add all the rest of my ingredients. Cream cheese, which is the base, that's gonna offer you that tackiness and that ability to mix that fish together, plus get that nice flavor of the cheese. We're gonna use a little bit of green onion. I'm gonna put a shallot in there. Then I'm gonna use a little bit of the smoked Blue Diamond almonds as well. I'm gonna crush those up and add them into that. So very, very delicious combo. You can use any kind of nuts, whether it's walnuts or peanuts or anything like that you wanna crush up and put in there. But my favorite's almonds by far. So I'm gonna go nice, really nice and thin shavings of this green onion here. Of course, you don't want great big chunks as you take each little bite, because we're just gonna be eating this with crackers. This also goes absolutely excellent on like a good sourdough bread or a Wonder Bread white. Anything like that makes a great sandwich, a little salmon sandwich. You can even put it on a bun, toast it in the toaster oven, have like a salmon bake, little melt, put a little American cheese on there. There's really a lot of options. And I'm gonna probably chop these up twice. So I'm gonna go as thin as shavings as I can make here. You can see it really does look a lot like a red onion, but I'm not gonna be crying from it. Okay, I'm gonna go back through this whole thing one more time, just like so. Bam. Because again, all this is just gonna get mixed in raw. I don't want to be cooking these onions or anything into that fish. I'm gonna let that do it all by itself. All right, that's sounding about right. I'm gonna dump all this stuff right in there. Man, that looks like some delicious meat, you guys. Get the seasoning on there while that fish is still a little bit raw, so it has time to kind of cook in its flavor into that meat. And I'm loving this red pepper as well. It's gonna add a little bit of spice, but I also have another secret that I haven't busted out yet for you guys. I'm gonna go a nice little covering here. Again, this has 0 salt in it, so really all I'm adding is flavor. Just like that, looks good. And for the grand finale ingredient, that's not gonna go until last, the old liquid smoke. Now, of course, if you've already smoked your fish, if you're using some leftover smoked fish or just a fresh smoked fish to make this, I like to eat my smoked fish fresh, just plain. But if you're gonna add it into some kind of dip like this, if it didn't turn out quite how you want it, a little bit of this smoke is not necessary. But for this one, since we're not smoking this fish, we want that kind of light smoky flavor. We'll be getting some of that flavor from the almonds as well, but we're gonna add a little bit of that smoked as well, that little liquid smoke, and not much, it's very strong stuff. Now, lastly, I'm talking so much about is my almonds. Go about a good handful or so, just like that. Each one of these is gonna be a pain in the butt, but since I'm out here on the jetty cooking, I'm just gonna take, just like that. You're gonna press down, either use a fork or a spoon or whatever you got, and I'm just gonna try to bust up each one of these. Doesn't have to be in tiny pieces because these things are so tasty, it doesn't hurt getting a good chunk of them. So I'm just gonna go through. If you have a little, you know, like if you're using this at home and you got a little meat tenderizer or something, I like to just put them in a Ziploc, hammer the crap out of them, maybe take some of your frustrations out on these poor almonds. They never hurt nobody, but you know what? They're there. Keep crushing that bad boy up. Just like so. You can get them finer than that, but I don't mind them a little chunky. Get this a little bit mixed up. Oh my God, it smells delicious. That butter and that red pepper, a lot of bit of garlic. I can definitely smell that garlic here. All right, so now while my stuff is cooking here, right before my fish is finished, I'm just gonna take 2 bricks of cream cheese, and I used probably, I don't know, 2.5 pounds or so of fish on this. It came off with 3 really large salmon. So I'm gonna use all of it up instead of leaving it to waste. I'm gonna actually just, if you got about, I'd say about pound to pound. If you got 1 pound of salmon meat, you're gonna wanna go with 1 whole brick of cheese. You don't want to have it too much cheese, you don't want to have it too much salmon, so maybe just add it tentatively. Add the cheese first, dump the salmon on top of it, see what adds up. Kind of preference it to yourself, what proportion you want of cheese to salmon. You guys, can you smell it? It tastes wonderful. The texture is nice and nice and flaky. There's like almost like a crab lobster feel to it. So now what I'm gonna do, you don't have to go too crazy on the cooking. You just want to make sure that this thing is done. You don't need a lot of raw fish in there. It might hurt your tummy. Obviously it doesn't hurt mine because I like eating it raw. But now we're gonna set this aside. We're gonna let this cool off just a little bit so we don't melt our cheese too bad. But it actually might help you a little bit to have it somewhat warm, because it'll help the whole blending of the two itself. So let this fish calm down just a little bit, let it cool off. Then we're gonna add it in to our cheese. We're gonna add the rest of our ingredients, and then we are gonna chow. All right, so now that I already ate half the pan, we're gonna go ahead and just dump that whole crap and caboodle in there, just like so. We are looking so good, you guys. So what I'm gonna do first before I add in the rest of the ingredients, I'm gonna start getting this stuff mixed up a little bit here. Just like that. Okay, so now that I have my cheese evenly mixed in, I'm gonna add my liquid smoke here. And this is very, very, very delicate, you guys. You can ruin your whole dish with this stuff, but it will also make your dish by adding that little bit of flavor. Take that off, and I'm gonna use the cap as my gauge here. Don't pour it over. I'm gonna use about half a cup full. That's it, that's all I'm putting in there. That liquid smoke, you can already smell that real hickory kind of nice smoke flavor, like it just got pulled out of the big smoker on the side of the highway. Gonna get our veggies and all our crisp, and having these raw is gonna offer that little bit of crisp. Putting those almonds in there is gonna have a little bit more of that body to it. It's gonna have like a slight crunch, as well as that nice soft salmon meat with that cheese. And look at what's happening here, everybody. Check this out. Oh my God, the smells. Those onions and that smoke flavor, everything blending together. Smell the smokiness from those almonds. And I'm gonna get to dipping here. See, you got some onion, got some green onion, got a couple of almonds in there, got that salmon, perfect amount of cheese. Oh my God. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have this finished by the time we make it 6 hours home. Hello everybody, and welcome back to day 4 of outrunning forest fires and chasing down fish. Today we hit the boat, we got the T-Rex, we got my best buddy Kale the salad, we got his brother up there, Doc Holiday himself, we got Sean the man himself, and we got Little. We got our 360 trolling rods, and we got all the persistence in the world. We're gonna dump them in. It is an absolute zoo out here of people, but the bite has been on fire. So we're gonna get to fishing. I hope today's gonna be awesome. Be sure, if you guys haven't already, drop a comment below, drop that thumbs up. Let us know if you think we're gonna catch any fish today. I think it's gonna happen. It's looking fishy. Let's do it. Good job, Kale Bob, dude. That one. We're messing around that time. Not the biggest salmon in the sea, but beggars won't be choosers today. Broke one off already, so happy to have this one on the boat. We accomplished it. We caught a fish every day of this trip. It was so awesome. Day ain't over yet. It seems like the bite's just kind of starting here. Fish on, fish on, fish on.
Can you rescue this one? Can
Hey. Kill.
Oh, quick came on. Color. It's a big fish. Really big fish. Yeah.
It's way downstream of you. There we go.
Look out, little. Oh, there he goes. Come on. Down, sir. Come on. Got it.
Oh yeah.
Look at that freaking hand, dude.
Nice. Got it.
Oh, that's a good fish, brother. That's a nice fish, everybody. Woo! What do you think, Little?
Hell yeah.
Well done, brother.
Thanks for the help, man. Oh, sweet.
In hand and everything.
Yeah.
We basically just dropped down. We didn't go a couple 100 yards.
That was super exciting. Thank you,
A
man.
little help from our friends, huh?
Yeah.
Well done, brother. Slightly bring it in. All right. Sean's on. Sean's rod got pounded on the drop again. Just turned around. We got a little tanglement going here, but 2 lions are always better than one. Papa always said. Total mayhem out here, everybody. Who knows what's going on? We got a big one. Cameraman's got one.
Coming in.
Okay, it's ready. Oh. Nice job, boys. Woo! Keep on. Oh, what a tangled mess, but that was absolutely awesome. Well done, Sean. This is the last thing that poor spinner saw before this mean salmon just demolished it. Good job, Sean. Camera guy got his meat for the day. Come across. I'm already tangled. No, you're way up there, dude. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, a little wiggly one. Really wiggly. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We got bead. Ready? Yep. Oh, baby. Again, not the biggest one out here, but an absolute beauty, fresh out of the ocean. It's gonna taste really good. We got a special recipe for you guys today, so do not miss it. Stick around. We're gonna get back, get these fish bled, get them filleted out, load the boat up. We're walking down Victory Lane, boys. Yee, we did it! We did it!
Limit.
Nice. All right, so we're back at you here in the actual KNIGGE's kitchen this time. Really, you know, we talk a lot, and when I was filleting them, I noticed one of them was definitely a Thule salmon, which for those of you out there who don't know what a Thule salmon is, it's a salmon that comes back to the lower Columbia in Oregon and Washington and spawns in some of the tributaries, and typically, a lot of the time, their meat is not the same quality as, say, what we call an upriver bright, or a fish that's gonna swim way up, hundreds of miles up the river and spawn. They come in with more fat, their meat is a lot more red, but these Thules always get a really bad rap, and we urge people to let them go. Obviously, you guys saw us just out there fishing, and when we caught those fish, really there's definitive ways of telling something is a Thule, but those fish that we caught, we could all comment below of whether you thought it was going to be a Thule. I didn't think it was going to be at all, but one of them obviously, as you can see, cut white. One of them obviously cut blood red like you would normally see a salmon. So these are both Chinook salmon, both just from different areas of the world, really, different areas of the continental United States. So what I'm going to do is our first ever KNIGGE's Kitchen Thule vs. Upriver Bright cook-off. So what I'm gonna do is a very basic recipe for both of them. I'm gonna get these things lathered up with a little bit of seasoning, some butter, and then we're gonna head out. I got the grill warmed up. We're gonna throw these bad boys on the grill, and then right here in front of you guys and everybody in the world, we're gonna try each one and see what one we think is tastier. I've eaten these Thules before in my life, and I think everybody else out there probably has, but they get a bad rap for their lack of flavor. But what I notice a lot of the time, one, the meat is just as firm. What makes gross salmon to a lot of people is if the meat's very soft, you can push your fingers through it, it's very squishy and nasty, and it has kind of a pungent smell of Chinook. But I have a lot of times eaten these Thules and noticed that there really is no difference at all in the taste of that meat. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add a little bit of butter to each of those little slices that I just made here. I like to do that so that butter can soak into that meat. Just gonna do nice little pieces in each one of those little slits that I made. There we go. And I'm gonna make sure to try to keep the amount of butter, the amount of seasoning, the amount of everything very equal on each one of these pieces of fish so that we're really not getting much of a variable in between the two. We're gonna taste the same flavor of seasoning. We're gonna taste hopefully the same flavor of fish. And we're gonna knock this out of the park, the stigma that these Thules are gross and these upriver brights are the only thing in the world worth eating. So stick that in there just like that. Stick that in there just like that. And that butter is gonna just add a little bit of flavor, a little bit of fatty taste to it. I'm gonna take just some Johnny seasoning, just a nice little coating of that. Give it a little flavor, just like so. A little bit of, basically all this stuff is pepper, salt, granulated garlic, and some paprika in it. So again, just a nice little hint of flavor. Just give us a little bit of a different taste. It'll just give us a little bit of a zang to it, maybe a zing. We'll see how it comes out. I'd say that's pretty even here. But I'm trying not to cover up the taste of the fish at all here so that we can really kind of decipher which one we think is better. So I'm gonna go just a small, tiny little bit of pepper on here. And it's pretty crazy as you guys are seeing, and you can probably tell. Comment below with which one you think is gonna taste better. I know in parts of the world, like parts of Alaska and stuff, when they catch these, what they call ivory kings, it's like a really big deal. People are excited, they're excited to have them. But around here in the Northwest, people hate on them and they don't like to eat them. So I'm really excited to see how these turn out. Let's take these out to the grill and get them cooking. Okay, we're out back, we got the grill good and hot. We're gonna throw these bad boys on there and give them about 15 to 20 minutes, uncovered. Made my little aluminum foil pan as you guys have seen me do before. We're gonna slap that lid on here, and now the only thing to do is wait. All right, everybody, I hear the sizzling. I smell the fishy. Let's get this thing off the grill. Look at that. Perfectly done, looks nice and flaky. Smells absolutely amazing. And I'm super excited to see which one comes out on top here. Let's get this thing off the grill and onto our pan. Let's go stick a fork in her. Okay, well, first observation here, obviously one is a lot different color. They're both done perfectly, just about the same. You guys can see already, I chose a shoulder piece of both of these fish, which usually have a little bit more fat. And you can kind of tell already with the same amount of cook time, this redder fish with you know, that nicer color. So you can tell right off the bat that this fish, almost just, you know, by the naked eye, is a little bit drier. And I'm guessing because it has a little less fat in it, which is odd because this fish is going further. This fish is sticking around in the lower river. So we're gonna go Thule first, right out of the gate. So first reaction, one, it's good and juicy. I don't really taste any difference from the Thule to what I would, in my mind, think a normal salmon tastes like. A lot of people eat these things and are just as happy to be eating them as any kind of salmon, but that's pretty darn good. Honestly, I'm gonna go for a second bite, try a little bit more. Honestly, I think it's pretty great. Very basic flavoring that I added to this fish, but it's not bad. Tastes good, tastes like good fish. It's nice and juicy, has a lot of fat in it, and I actually think it's pretty damn good. So, second fish here, going for that more red, more classic upriver bright Chinook. Pull that bone out there, and let's see how she tastes. Completely different flavor, I must say. The taste between this one and this one is hands down different. This one almost has a more rich flavor to it. It doesn't have just that fishy kind of salmon taste. I must say, maybe all you people out there aren't wrong. A true upriver bright, nice red meated salmon. does taste way better than this Thule. A lot of people will smoke these, but the grill comparison, exact same recipe, same cook time, same everything. This redder, more typical salmon, the Upriver Bright, tastes way better than the Thule. So let it be said, that's just my opinion. Some of you out there might love Thules. Not gonna discriminate against you guys, but definitely like that red Upriver Bright a lot more than the Chinook. So there we have it. The first ever addicted Thule versus Upriver Bright taste test. All right, everybody. So as we sit here and enjoy our little dinner, I want us to just kind of reminisce and thank all of you for being along for this crazy Ring of Fire adventure that we've been on. We probably put on over 1,000 miles, went across the entire state of Oregon and Washington, fished with some awesome people. Want to throw a huge thank you out to everybody we fished with, Alex, Steve, my buddy Kale, Eric, for coming out and helping us be successful out on the big river here. But most of all, I want to say again, I said it in the first episode, our thoughts and prayers are out there with all you people who lost their homes, who lost their livelihoods, who lost everything they had to these dangerous and crazy wildfires. So our love goes out to you as fishing addicts or just as fellow humans. So again, you guys, thank you so much for joining along with this adventure. Be sure to comment below with what you thought of this whole series and whether or not we should keep doing these awesome adventures across state lines and all the way into the depths of every sort of fishery that there is. If you guys haven't seen all the videos in this series, we were out here for 4 days, go up here, hit this link to the other video, check the rest of them out, go down, hit subscribe as always, hit that little bell notification, give us a thumbs up, and drop a comment below, and you could be the comment of the day just like this one right here. You guys, thank you so much for coming out with us on this adventure. You stay fishy, and we'll see you out there.